Hi everyone, and welcome to the Knit Shift episode 98. My name is Laura and today is Monday, November 2017. It's the 27th. It's not like I haven't done this a time or 97 before, but there you have it. This is my podcast about knitting and life in near Washington, D.C., where I live and work as a journalist with my dog Gracie, who is just right there, and my boyfriend Josh. So welcome to my podcast. Thank you so much for checking it out. I know there are so many podcasts out there, and it really does mean a lot to me that you are choosing to spend a little bit of your day with me. So thank you very much. If you are American, I hope you had a tremendous Thanksgiving holiday. And if you're not American, I hope you've had a good few weeks. I had a great couple weeks since I last spoke with you. I have to confess, I almost thought I didn't have enough content for a podcast today. And then I went back and I looked at the comments in the Ravelry thread where I'm hosting a giveaway, which I'll talk about in a second. And hearing what people liked about the podcast, I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna roll with it. We're gonna record, and whatever happens, happens, and I'm confident you guys will like it. I hope, fingers crossed. So I'm glad to be here today talking with you. I hope you're having a good day whenever you see this, so let's get to it. Show notes can be found at theknitshift.com. This episode lives on iTunes and YouTube and will be embedded at theknitshift.com. I'm on Ravelry as Yarnstormer. I am on Instagram as Laura Maholsky, and there is a group for the podcast. If you go to the groups tab on Ravelry and search for The Knit Shift, you will find us. I am hosting a giveaway right now. I'll share the details of that now. For my 100th episode, which is only about a month away, so basically right around Christmas time, which is kind of awesome, I'm going to be giving away kind of a mega prize to celebrate my 100th podcast episode. So the prize includes this lovely tote from Indie Untangled at Rhinebeck this year with all these sweet little creatures. And this is a very big tote, you guys. I don't know if you can see, this is like the width of a person. You could fit a sweater project in here. So that is one part of the prize. You will also be receiving a skein of Shelter in one of my favorite colorways, Sap. And it's this lovely yellow green. And you'll also be receiving a skein of this beautiful 100% merino Wonderland Yarns Cheshire Cat in the colorway Wise Fish. And this would make an amazing shawl. This is, I think, 512 yards. Yeah, 512 yards. So beautiful, beautiful sea greens and bright blues and whites. So I'm trying to add something to the prize pot each week, and this week is a handy dandy notions pouch from Centerville Knit and Crochet. This was a donation from my mom, Dorothy. Thanks, Mom. And there are two zipper pouches. There's two different zipper pouches, which I think is pretty handy. Helps you keep things a little separated. And then there are also some stitch markers from Stolen Minutes from Strings Attached Yarn Shop. So just simple little gold with a little jewel on them. So thanks, Mom, for the donation for the podcast prize. So all of that will be going to a winner. There is a prompt in the Ravelry group. You are asked to share what you love about knitting and what you love about my podcast, or like. You don't have to love the podcast, that's okay too. But I've been bowled over by the responses that people have left, specifically, you know, as it relates to why you like the podcast. And I mentioned 2 weeks ago in my last episode that some of the responses made me verklempt and emotional, and they've continued to do that this time. So thank you so much for all of the kind words, and thank you for watching. And I'm really excited to be giving away a prize to celebrate my 100th podcast episode, because I've been doing this for almost 2 years now. So it'll be 2 years in late March, early March. So we're just a couple months away from the 2-year anniversary, which, you know, maybe I'll do another giveaway then. But I felt like the 100th episode was a nice round number, and I'm thrilled to be giving something away for it. All of that said, let us get to the knitting content. I have two finished objects to share with you. One of them is one that I am pretty sure I shared like 6 weeks ago, but maybe not. So I've been wearing these. So these are not fresh, virgin, fresh off the needle socks. They are showing a little wear already. But I don't think I put these on my on my sock blockers to show you. This is Hey Lady Hey sock yarn in the colorway Prim. And I knit these on a size 0. So they took me quite some time. I knit these 2 at a time. You can see there's some Gracie hair in there, and I'm getting a little bit of fuzz right at the heel right here. But these are just simple stockinette socks. Each of the past 2 episodes, they were in the wash, so I couldn't show them to you. So I'm pretty sure I have not shown these to you, but if you've seen them before, sorry, you're seeing them again. And a simple 2x2 rib to finish them off. So really pleased with these. I think I'm gonna end up with like 11 pairs of socks for the year. I'd have to look at my Ravelry page to know for sure. But it's fewer socks than in recent years. But since I moved up here to Northern Virginia in mid-August, my sock knitting has increased dramatically thanks to my commute. So it could be a lot worse, I guess is what I'm trying to say in terms of my finished number of socks this year. In years past, sometimes I think I'd have 24 pairs, which, I pine for those days basically of knitting 24 pairs in a year, but those times are not, those times might be in the past. I don't know that I'll return to them anytime soon. So my next finished object is one that I am so excited to share with you. This was almost done 2 weeks ago, and I can say with all confidence, this is 100% done, finished, washed, blocked, you name it. So I have finished my niece's Christmas stocking. Isn't this just amazing? I am so happy with how this turned out, you guys. I can't shut up about it. So this, when my brother and sister-in-law found out they were expecting, which gosh, is like 18 months ago now, almost. And I knew right away that one of the things I wanted to make Olivia was a stocking for Christmas. I have a stocking that my grandma did not make for me, but she paid someone to knit for me, and it has my name on it, and I love it, and it's got a little jingle bell on the toe, and it's even more special because she died when I was about a year old. So I love that stocking. I will never get rid of it. It will be my stocking for the rest of my life. So when I asked my brother and sister-in-law if I could knit Olivia her stocking, and they said yes, I was so over the moon. So I decided to put her name in it. You can see I'm not the best at color work, but that's okay. It has a little handmade charm. And then spur of the moment, I decided to put 2017 on the back since that's the year she was born. And this is the, I'm looking in my notes here and I forget the name of the pattern designer, but it's on my Ravelry page, and this designer has a ton of stockings. So I did modify it slightly. I did not do an afterthought heel. I did a Fish Lips Kiss heel. Last week I had not yet done the duplicate stitch. This side turned out a little better. So I learned how to duplicate stitch to pull off this heart. And I also crocheted and attached the handle to hang it by. So I held the white and the green together and used a pretty tiny crochet hook in order to make a nice, tight, snug loop. And it's pretty secure in there. I had to do a little finagling to make it really tight. So as I was finishing this, I just got so excited thinking about Olivia getting this out every year as a child, and then as a teenager, and then as a young adult, and then living on her own someday, and she'll always have this stocking from Aunt Laura, and it kind of made me emotional. So this might be one of the top 3 things I've ever made in terms of what I'm in love with. I'm so happy with this. I'm so proud of how this turned out. It's vintage and cute, and I just love this, and I can't wait to put this in the mail to them probably in a day or 2, because I want them to have it to hang up as long as they want. You know, it's their first Christmas with their baby. I want them to hang it up as long as they can, as long as they want to. So super thrilled with how that turned out. I used size 9 needles. I used the most of the white versus everything else, but I am super pleased with how this turned out. So that is it for my finished objects this week. I have 2 works in progress to share with you. The first I'm carrying around in my Bink Waffle bag. This is the bag I use mostly on my commutes for sock knitting, because I can just wear it on my wrist and knit directly from the bag. So this is my Christmas sock. For the past 2 years, I've knit myself a pair of socks for Christmas. For the past 2 years, I have not finished the socks in time before the holiday. I am determined to do it this year, so I started extra early, and I'm already halfway through the first sock. Last week, I was right around here. Pretty sure I had just finished the toe. I'm happy to say I knit the entire foot and a heel over the past 2 weeks. I'm finding that socks are my preferred commute knit. They're small, they're so portable, they're easy, I don't have to think about it. I can do it if I'm sharing the seat with someone. I'm really pleased with how this turned out. This is a toe-up stockinette sock. I think this is a size 1 needle. I'm using ChiaoGoo's. And this is Lydia sock yarn in the colorway 'Tis the Season. I got this at SAF in 2016. And I'm really loving how this is knitting up in this lovely barber pole. I really do love the speckles. They might be my favorite part of it, the speckles with the pinky red colorway. And I just did a Fish Lips Kiss heel, and I'm carrying on up the leg. So I am going this evening. I'm kind of dressed up, I guess, for normal podcast days because I'm not working today. So I am in work clothes. I'm going to the University of Maryland this evening, and I'm speaking to a journalism class. So I decided not to subject you to my normal bummy podcast clothes, and I put on my nice dress because I'm leaving in about an hour to catch the train up to Maryland. And it's kind of a haul. I live at one end of the metro line in Virginia, one of the metro lines in Virginia, and I'm taking it basically to the other end, and then I get on another train and take it for like 5 more stops. So I have a lot of knitting time in my immediate future, and I'm very happy about that. But also happy to speak to the kids about journalism, but mostly I'm happy for the knitting time on my commute this evening. So yeah, priorities. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this yarn, and it's pretty thin sock yarn. I think this is a 75/25 superwash merino nylon, 463 yards. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. The other thing I'm knitting has graduated to a bigger bag. This is a shopping bag from Fiberspace, my new local yarn shop. And this is the dichotomy shawl. I'm finding that one of these, I forget what these are called, but it's like a yarn wand. It's like a magic wand for yarn. You can keep your needles in it. This has come in clutch because this shawl is really big and my needles are probably like a 24-inch neat cable, so it's pretty scrunched up on here. So let me not drop some stitches first and foremost. So I don't have a stitch marker to show my progress from the last time, but you can see that this is getting pretty big. This is the dichotomy shawl, which is a pattern by Marjorie Dussaud. It's a $3 pattern, and half of it is stockinette, and the other half of it is simple yarn over knit 2 together lace, and then the border is garter stitch. So very simple. If you've never knit a shawl, this is a great pattern. It calls for worsted weight. It works up super quick. I'm using Miss Babs Yowza in the Berlin colorway. So it's a 560 yard cake, 100% merino, worsted weight, and I still have quite a bit left. So I'm gonna really try and get as much as I can out of this yarn before moving to the bind off. So this is a Christmas gift for my sister-in-law, the mom of my niece. And yeah, I'm really enjoying this. It's a fast knit. It works up really quickly. It's just enough interest that I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing because it's very simple, but it's just enough interest to keep me really occupied, which I like. So I had been taking this on the commute, but as you can see, it's pretty big now, and with it being so close to falling off the needles, I really didn't want to run the risk of losing stitches on the metro. So this is officially an at-home project nowadays. So that is it for my works in progress. I mentioned 2 weeks ago that I want to cast on a hat for my niece. For Christmas. I have not forgotten about that, but I'm trying to finish this shawl before I cast on a baby hat. So stay tuned for that. So that is it for the knitting content today. The rest of the chat will be a little bit about what I've been up to lately, and there is a little bit of lipstick talk. One of the reasons I wanted to record today was because I did get an order from Sephora last week. Yeah, last week. And I ordered it, anyway, I wanted to do some lipstick chatter because you guys mentioned in the Ravelry thread for the giveaway that you like when I talk about lipsticks, and it's been a while since I talked about that, so we will be talking about that at the very end of the episode, so stay tuned for that. So, yeah. So the past couple weeks have been very fun. I had several former coworkers in town for the holidays or for working on a project. So a week ago tonight, I met up with a reporter and photographer from Norfolk from my old newspaper. They're in town working on a project. The reporter's a military reporter, so I won't say more than that, but it'll be a really good story when it comes out. And they asked if I could meet up for dinner, and I said, absolutely, let's do it. So the three of us met up along with one of the pilot summer interns who I managed this summer. We got together at an Indian restaurant in Old Town Alexandria called Namaste. It's delicious. I cannot recommend it enough. I've also had delivery from Namaste like twice in the past couple weeks, so I'm kind of on a Namaste kick. Mostly I've been getting it with I've only gotten it with my knitting friends here. We've gotten together and just said, screw it, let's get Indian food. So that's what we've done, and I regret nothing. So I had visits from them, a copy editor and reporter from my old newspaper who are dating were in town for Thanksgiving, so we met up on Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, and had lunch, and we got ice cream at Jenny's Ice Cream, and that was really nice. We met up in the U Street corridor, kind of North DC. It was really great to see them. And then I also had a knitting date with a fellow copy editor, so a fellow journalist who's a knitter at another news organization in Washington. So we did that, was it 2 weeks ago? It was a week ago this past Saturday, so that was really fun. She was really fun, and I don't know if she watches this, but hi, I won't say your name just in case you would rather or not, but it was really fun to get together with a fellow journalist and knitter, and that was great. So it's been a lot of chances to get out and be social lately, which I appreciate. I'm finding that I am coming out of my shell more here. There's a lot more to do. There's a lot more socialization opportunities here. And I'm normally a bit of an introvert and a homebody. I mean, I still am, that hasn't changed, but I think because I'm kind of new to the area, I am kind of going out a bit more, and you know, there's so much to explore and so much to do here, so I've been enjoying that quite a bit. It was also Thanksgiving just a few days ago, and I did work on Thanksgiving. I did not mind one bit. In the past, I have wanted to have holidays off, and I'm sure I'll want to have them off again down the road, maybe when my niece is a little older, but for now, I really don't mind, especially when some of my coworkers have little kids, and you know, especially for Christmas, you would hope they could be home with them. So, so I worked on Thanksgiving. The company bought us turkeys. They were pre-cooked. We just had to heat them up. And I was not like the point person on that, but I offered to help the person who was, and I brought in a big carving knife, and I'm really glad I did, because I ended up carving 2 or 3 turkeys, and I ended up doing more turkey carving than working that day. We were staffed well enough that I didn't have to, I mean, I did worry, I did stress that I was away from my desk too much, but it sometimes is nice to have a little bit of an easier day, especially on a holiday where you can kind of catch your breath a little bit and, you know, get to work on some other stuff, even if that other stuff is carving turkeys for your colleagues. So that was really fun. We had a potluck for the rest of the dinner, and everyone made delicious food. It was just really, really lovely. So a really nice holiday, and that was my first time carving a turkey, which was kind of intimidating. Thankfully, my colleagues in the food department had just put out a video on how to carve a turkey, and I had watched it just for curiosity's sake a few days earlier, and I'm glad I did, because it kind of stuck with me when it came to carving up the bird. So that was really fun. Work has also been busy. I got to work on a couple really big stories lately. So that's been really, really wonderful to be trusted with some really big, important stories. So I'll just leave it at that. And the other stuff I've been up to is I have fallen down the rabbit hole of Ancestry.com. That is the genealogy website. So my mom and dad went to one of my mom's sister's houses for Thanksgiving in Pennsylvania. And this is my Aunt Diane, who my grandma was living with when she passed away. My grandma had just moved in with Aunt Diane and her family weeks before she passed away in September. So maybe like 2 weeks. So they went through a lot of my grandma's possessions and, you know, decided who would take what. I mean, she was not rich, but you know, she was rich with family, but she was not a rich person. So it's more like things like photographs or photo albums and just little things like that. Nothing of great financial value. So it sounds like it all went really well, you know, deciding who would take what. And my mom came away with some really lovely photos. She got a photo album that my grandma had collected, and she also photographed, she made copies of photos that my grandma had of my grandma's parents in their youth. So my grandma was born in 1922. Her parents were born in 1898 and 1899, respectively. My great-grandfather came from Ireland when he was like 14, 15, something like that. My great-grandma was born in the US, in Pittsburgh. So one of the things she found was a photo of them, or one of the things they went through, it's not like it was undiscovered, was a photo of my great-grandparents on their wedding day. And it's an amazing photo, and I will insert, I'll insert it here. And there were photos of my great-grandma on her probably confirmation, maybe first communion, so like, you know, probably like 1911, 1912. And so I asked my mom if she knew when the wedding photo was from, like what was their wedding date, and she didn't know. So I kind of decided to go on Ancestry and see what I could turn up. And for the past 2 nights after work, I've been kind of going down the rabbit hole and staying up way too late looking at documents and family trees and things like that. And it's kind of an amazing resource, that website. And I found all sorts of amazing things, like my great-grandfather's naturalization paperwork to become a citizen. I found marriage license applications for my grandma and pap, and I think all the other siblings of my grandma's who got married. My grandma was one of 6. There were 3 girls and 3 boys. Her sister Anna became a nun, so she never got married. So all other 5 did, and I found all 5 marriage license applications, which was kind of amazing. And it's just been so fun researching that kind of stuff. What else have I been up to? Oh, I did book 2 trips to Ohio for the coming months. I'm gonna go in January to see family for a long weekend, and I'm gonna go in March for my niece's first birthday. Now that I live in DC, I am basically a direct flight from anywhere in the country that I might wanna go to. And I also live on along public transportation, where I can get to the metro, and I'm like 4 stops from the airport, which is pretty fantastic. So that's pretty great. So I'm super excited to see them. I haven't seen my niece since September, so I'm thrilled that I'll get to see her in January. So that's really exciting. And the only other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about today was makeup. So if makeup is not your thing, take care, and I'll see you soon. So I placed an order at Sephora.com probably late October. Sephora is a makeup website, and they have a rewards program where you can be a beauty insider, which is like a loyalty thing. And then if you buy enough of their products, you become a VIB, which is like the next level up. And with that, once a year, I think they do a 20% off sale. There is a 3rd level if you spend like something like $1,000. I'm not at that point yet. So, and that's even more discounts and things like that. So I'm the middle level of the 3. So the 20% off annual sale was just a few weeks ago, so I decided to place an order. One of the things I got was Tarte lip facial. I've been having dry lips lately, just in general. I mean, I feel like I haven't been taking good care of exfoliating my lips. So I did some research online, and everyone spoke very highly of this product. So this is the lip facial by Tarte, and it is white, and you can kind of see it's a little bit grainy, like especially where I've been using it. And basically it is like a scrub for your lips, and it smells nice. And it is moisturizing, so it exfoliates your lips. Leave it on, kind of rub your lips together, you know, and leave it on for 4 or 5 minutes, and then wipe it off with a wet cloth, and your lips are super soft and moisturized and exfoliated. And it has really, I've done it 2 or 3 times a week and it's really helped my dry lips. So highly recommend that. I think it's $16. And then the other thing I bought was, of course, lipstick, because that is my favorite thing. I ended up getting, I think, 4 lipsticks. The brand Buxom was on sale beyond the 20% off. All of the Buxom lipsticks were 20% off. Or no, they were just on sale. I think they were like $10 instead of $16. So I bought 3 or 4 of those. I brought one to share with you today. This is the Buxom Full On Lip Polish, which is kind of a shinier product. And this is the colorway Ava. You can see it's a little bit sparkly. And I'm wearing it right now. You can see it's a very natural shade. It leaves your lips with a little bit of tingle, which is kind of nice. A lot of their stuff is a bit sheer, I find, but it's really pretty and it smells really nice. And let me take it out of the tube and show you. So I probably wouldn't wear this to work because it is a little shiny, but it is quite neutral in color, so I think I am gonna wear this tonight to talk to the kids about the journalisms and things like that. So I am really fond of the Buxom lip products, and those are the 2 products I will share for today, and I will have more for you in the coming weeks. So I think that is it for me today. A little short and sweet episode. So as I knew would be the case, I knew I had plenty to talk to you guys about. I should be back in 2 weeks. If you haven't signed up to participate in the giveaway thread, please do so. And I will see you guys in a few weeks. Until then, take care, happy knitting, happy crafting, and I will see you soon. Bye!